Smoothie, City, definitely. I did this song with my friends Benji and Robbie. We were in Seoul actually at SM last October for a camp, and I had the title Smoothie in my head for a whole year.
And we have a very special guest with us, a multi-platinum producer who has like 30 songs on the Billboard. Did you expect that you would ever go into something outside Western music, like Korean music?
Never.
Yeah.
No, it came out of nowhere. I never really expected it, but usually that's how it goes in life. Like you can never plan what's coming and stuff, but I really like connected with that whole world and genre, and I felt like when I first started hearing all those songs and seeing the music videos, it's like, wow, I think like I'm meant to be doing this. So I really dedicated myself to it.
Can you let us know, like, obviously with every culture music is very different, because like K-pop I'm sure has a lot of different things that maybe Indian music doesn't have, or the West. So can you name something that's very K-pop specific?
Yeah, of course. And by the way, it's changing a lot, because nowadays it's becoming very westernized.
Yeah, everything is influenced.
Yeah, and the songs are becoming way more like simple and less changes, and the top lines are very western. If you listen to like all the new Jeans or Les FM, now it's very western.
Yeah.
But up to like maybe a year ago, and they still do it for certain groups, but I would say like the key changes, like going from, let's say your song is in minor, and then your pre-chorus comes in and you have like a major chord come in out of nowhere, and then a lot of like different, basically every section being different. Like second verse comes in, you usually in Western you would go back to the first verse and just tweak a few things, but no, in K-pop like second verse there has to be a brand new melody or brand new rap, and then you need a bridge, and then you need a dance break,
That's
and
very
then you need
cool.
the last hook, and then you need an outro with a chant. It's just like they really push the boundaries musically, which is really fun producing, because it's like
I'm sure
making 10 songs in one.
That's cool. I know this is going to be a hard question, but if you had to choose maybe one or two of your favorite K-pop tracks that you've worked on.
That's a hard one.
It's very good.
But,
or like the one that you had just a lot of fun with because it was so different or something.
No, I can name a few for sure. Smoothie, City, definitely. I did this song with my friends Benji and Robbie. We were in Seoul actually at SM last October for a camp, and I had the title Smoothie in my head for a whole year.
You came up with that.
I kept telling myself I need to make a song called Smoothie.
Wow.
But in my head it would be like a very upbeat BTS type of track. But I told them, oh, let's make something called Smoothie. But at the time we were trying to do something for NCT, and I was like, do you think it's too like happy, too like, and they were like, no, we couldn't make it dark and stuff. So we did that. We had so much fun making that song, and then just to seeing the result from the success of that, we sold over I think 2.6 million albums, and we got nominated for a VMA for K-pop Song of the Year.
Wow.
So that was like
that's really good. That's amazing.
Yeah, that was really cool. Another song that's special to me is Kai's first single, which was like really special to me. We worked so hard on this song. We did like 19 edits.
Wow.
And it was his big debut single after EXO. So I love this one. And then 11 from IVE also is one that I really love, because that was their big debut, and they blew up. Like
the debut is
from the first like single, which was like none of us expected.
I think IVE is huge.
Yeah.
I don't think they had much of an arc. It was kind of like 50-50 how they started.
Exactly. Yeah. From the first single 11 with IVE, like they blew up, and every single back-to-back's been really, really well.
Do you are you there a lot of the times, or is it like offline?
It depends. Most of it is offline. I just like write my own demos in my studio and just collaborate with songwriters all over the world and different producers, and then I go to Seoul like every other month, and I do camps in person, because it's always more fun, right? Like in the room with the people, with your friends, and sometimes with the artists as well. So it depends, but most of it is offline, and we just send the demos to the label, and sometimes a week later you hear back, oh, we won this song for this artist.
So good.
And sometimes, most of the time, you hear back maybe a year, 2 years later.
Really?
Yeah, like most of my placements are like, for example, Starry Night that I just did for 50/50, I wrote a year and a half ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they can actually go back and
Yeah.
see all the demos that.
Of course. And not only go back, is that also some demos you keep sending to all the labels, because they might not fit at that particular time, but then maybe on the next album, they're looking for something like that. Or
That's
so I have a
interesting.
very big catalog of songs, and we just pitch them constantly.
That's
even
cool. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah.
So that's good to know.
Yeah.
That even if something doesn't work now, it can work.
Of course, yeah. Actually, most of my songs are usually in K-pop. Songs get placed like maybe a year and a half, 2 years.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And Starry Night also being like a new debut song for them
Yeah.
did really well.
Yeah.
And the album is great.
Yeah, I haven't heard the whole album yet.
You haven't?
No, but I love the other single, SOS.
SOS.
But yeah, Starry Night was one of my favorite songs actually that I wrote a year and a half ago. That year, that was my favorite demo, and I was like, I need to place this one for a special project that I really love, because my heart was really poured into that song, and I was so happy that
50/50. Yeah, that's huge. Now moving from K-pop, you clearly love to start new things and come to new places and kind of learn what their music is about. So now you're here.
Yeah.
And what brought you to India?
So same thing. It's a crazy story, just like K-pop, kind of how it happened when I first came to Seoul. I came here, same thing with my manager Taylor and our A&R, who's also an amazing writer, Michael Benkusa. And the three of us came, kind of same thing, last minute, out of nowhere. Let's go to India, and it was my first time. And so they had set up for me a 10-day camp with different artists. And it went so well. I was in the studio every day with Bacha, Arman Malik, and Junita Gandhi, and everybody. And after 10 days, we extended another week, because then everybody was calling, wanting to get in the studio with me. And then after that week, we extended another week. And then they called me in the room. I was in a session, I remember. They called me, hey, can you, for a second, they're like, bro, you may not like this, but would you consider staying another 2 weeks?
Oh my God.
Because the phone is blowing up, everybody want to work with us and stuff. So I was like, of course, let's do it. And so those 10 days turned into a month and a half. And honestly, through that month and a half, it was the same thing. I fell in love with the culture, fell in love with the city, everything, and it was new, fresh, and I always loved new experiences, challenges. And I had been in Houston for a while now, and I was ready for the next exciting thing. And so we were like, you know what, let's move. So it's been 5 months already, and as soon as we moved, we started prepping the upcoming releases. Some of the songs that I did during that month and a half, they're being planned for release now, and we just released the Boomy performance with Amit Trivedi, on Salim's Boomy, which was really, really cool, and it just came out yesterday.
Yeah.
So yeah,
congratulations on all of the stuff that you're doing.
Thanks so much, and it was crazy to see myself on billboards already, Juhu and
Sandra, I know.
You think to yourself, wow, I was on the other side of the world, and literally 5 months later, I'm here on billboards, and I have songs coming out. It's amazing. That's why we do this.
It sounds amazing, because you've gone from France to Houston to Seoul to Mumbai.
Yeah.
And where will you go next? We don't know. But I think for now, India's going to keep you here for a little longer.
Sure. That's my focus. I'm planning a very exciting artist project for myself. I'm going to bring a lot of features, a lot of my friends on it, and start releasing singles. I'm working on a lot of different things here, so it's very exciting.
It sounds so nice and exciting. To end this interview, I always ask everyone to kind of if you have a message to maybe listeners or K-pop fans or anyone who is probably doing the same thing as you or I, and kind of want to get into the industry, or just to your fans, what would you say?
No, yeah, I mean, music I think it's all about passion, so never lose the passion for what you do. Always follow your dreams. It might take time to get to where you are, but if it's meant to be, you'll always get there. K-pop is so crazy and exciting, and and knowing so many artists personally as well, I always tell the fans, like, they truly appreciate like the fan support. And just like, yeah, I mean, if you're doing music, just stay creative, always try to break the boundaries, and always try to do something fresh that's never been done before. And
don't follow the brief.
Don't follow the brief. That's my biggest advice. Don't follow the brief.
94.3 Radio 1.